The Labour Court has interdicted the striking workers at Clover from intimidating other staff members and damaging property during their ongoing strike. Workers have hit streets over planned retrenchments. For more on the story, we're joined by Saftu's national spokesperson, Trevor Shaku. Mr. Shaku, thank you very much for joining us. So, according to the court document that we have in our possession, you are required to publicly denounce all and any violent acts against and intimidation of non-striking workers and any third parties in pursuance of the first and second respondents' demands, and any damage to property by loud hailer, union pamphlets, SMS, WhatsApp, and it goes on to say within 24 hours of this court order being served. Will you adhere?
Thanks for having us. First and foremost, we must mention and make a point that when we heard that the company was lodging an application to interdict us, we wrote a response, and we also circulated a statement in which we highlighted that this is going to affect the hard-won gains of our constitutional democracy, whereby the pickets, boycotts, stay-away sit-ins were utilized to defeat and to bring an end to an apartheid system which had oppressed our people. Now we're surprised that this company was going to court to seek to interdict us from conducting any of the methods which were used to pressurize the white minority regime at the time. Now, we are also surprised that the Labour Court actually agreed to the fact that we must stop calling for the boycott of Clover products, because in the main, this is one of the most peaceful manner through which we can be able to carry out our strike with pressure, but at the same time not putting anyone's life, of course, in danger. That we may call on violence or insinuate that violence may happen. Actually, we are the ones who have been instilling as much discipline amongst workers to ensure that these workers do not, in the main, carry out their acts of struggling, of protesting, by frustrating the process in the sense that whenever they start carrying out any acts of violence, or if they may carry out any acts of violence, it will tarnish the reputation of the unions. It would also tarnish the reputation, the sympathy, and the support which the strike has been building since the 22nd of November. So in that manner, we say that we are surprised that the Labour Court granted them to interdict our boycott, but most importantly, there's no way we are going to display any form of violence.
Will you then be calling off the boycott, because you're also instructed to remove or amend the image on your Facebook page, which is, well, let's not get into that matter, but amend the image on your Facebook page to remove the wording encouraging the removal of all Clover products from the shelves. Will you be adhering to the court order?
As far as we are concerned, the order was granted on the 25th, and we are not retracting anything. If they push the courts and the other sections of law enforcement to ensure that those two unions, FAU and USA, are forced to remove those messages of boycotts and all that, Saftu would not do that. We would continue rallying workers, will continue rallying communities and all other progressive forces which have given their support and threw their weight behind this strike. We'll continue encouraging them to boycott Clover products and continue to encourage them to carry out this particular process in the townships, but also across the country. And if possible, anywhere where Clover is trading its product.
Costs have been reserved in this matter. Should the courts find that you should be financially liable for this process, what would your response then be?
As far as I'm concerned, Saftu is not even mentioned. So we continuing to call for the boycott. If the leadership of FAU and of USA is eventually forced through law enforcement to remove those things, we will, as a matter of fact, as Saftu, not be in any way legally be breaching anything or any order, because we are not mentioned in the court order.
Trevor Shaku is Saftu's national spokesperson. Thank you for availing yourself this afternoon.